all the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Susan every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Philippine Navy opens exercise Sama-Sama 2025 in Palawan. Bay Laguna reaffirms commitment to peace and security. Typhoon Paolo causes 162 million pesos damage to Cagayan Valley farms. Philippines and Japan vow to work in improving judicial system.
Hello to everyone, especially to our troops at Camp Emilio Aguinaldo in Quezon City. Today is Wednesday, October 8, and this is AFP Committee News, your source for the updates on the armed forces and other developments across the country. I am Rolf Susan Abay here to bring you today's stories.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our news, the Philippine Navy, through the Western Naval Command, officially launched the exercise Sama-Sama 2025 at Naval Station Apolinario Halandoon in Puerto Princesa City, Palawan. Western Naval Command Rear Admiral Vincent Hibala welcomed the Rear Admiral Thomas Schultz of the United States Navy and delegates from partner nations. The two-week exercise, held from October 6 to 17, aims to boost interoperability, regional cooperation, and maritime security. The event highlights the Philippine Navy's commitment to peace, partnership, and regional maritime defense.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The municipality of Bay Laguna officially reaffirmed its stable internal peace and security status in a ceremony held at the Municipal Hall. Led by Governor Marisol Aragones, Mayor Jose Padrin, Vice Mayor Michael Ponzalan, and Department of the Interior and Local Government Provincial Director J.R. Beltran, local officials renewed their pledge to maintain peace and order in the community. Colonel Alexander Arbolado, the Deputy Brigade Commander of the 202nd Infantry Brigade, emphasized strong AFP and LGU cooperation. Their commitment reflects Bay's steadfast dedication to unity, resilience, and sustained development for a peaceful future.
Armed Forces Radio.
From NOLCO, let's hear some information from Joanne about over 100 individuals from Batanes complete Philippine Army's basic citizen military training.
More than 120 individuals from the province of Batanes graduated from the Philippine Army's Basic Citizen Military Training Class 11 2025, held on Sunday afternoon, October 5, at the Amphitheater of Batanes State College in Basco. The ceremony also included the donning and pinning of ranks for other reservists of the Philippine Army. The 120 individuals, comprising government employees, local elected officials, and others, formally became reservists of the Philippine Army. They underwent training in basic military tactics, territorial defense strategies, and disaster response, tailored to address the challenges faced by the province. In his message, Colonel Monib Timamaw, Group Commander of the 2nd Regional Community Defense Group, Reserve Command of the Philippine Army, expressed gratitude for the participants' initiative and readiness to serve as reservists, assisting the community during emergencies. This is John Sagak reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne, from NOLCO.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The 37th Infantry Battalion of the Provincial Social Welfare and Development Office, under the directive of Governor Pax Ali Sangki Mangudadatu, conducted a pulong-pulong and former rebel profiling at Camp Bijan Cesar Betita Lebak Sultan Kudarat. The activity, part of the Department of Social Welfare and Development's Sustainable Livelihood Program, aimed to help former rebels reintegrate into peaceful and productive lives. Each beneficiary received grocery items, a sack of rice, and 3,000 pesos in cash assistance from DSWD Region 7. The initiative showcased the government's unified effort to sustain peace and empower former rebels toward lasting change and community development.
DWDD National News.
For our national news, the Vietnam Coast Guard donated relief supplies to victims of the recent earthquake in Tabogon, Cebu. According to Commodore Alger Recafrente, the Chief of Internal Affairs of the Philippine Coast Guard, the VCG turned over 32 sacks of rice and 10 boxes of noodles. The donated items came from the VCG's own supplies while in the Philippines for a week-long bilateral engagement with the PCG. The VCG vessel CSB 8002 arrived in Cebu last Monday to deliver the assistance.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more from Eljoy of First Year G about 69 Ivy leads info drive on CTG deception, WPS, and basic life support in Bataan.
Yes, Rolf, the 69 Infantry Kaugar Battalion successfully conducted a multi-sectoral information awareness drive at Barangay Kapunitan, Orion, Bataan. The event focused on raising awareness about the deceptive recruitment tactics of the communist terrorist group, educating the public on pressing issues concerning the West Philippine Sea, and equipping participants with life-saving skills through a basic life support practical session. The initiative was attended by more than 50 participants, including barangay officials, barangay health workers, and members of the local civilian populace. The event forms part of the battalion's intensified efforts to strengthen civil-military relations and foster an informed, vigilant, and proactive citizenry. This is Meldra Nasho Arroco reporting for AFP Community News. One AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Meljoy of First Year G.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Agriculture reported that 3,890 farmers in the Cagayan Valley region were affected by heavy rains and flooding brought by Typhoon Paulo. High-value crops were the most damaged, followed by rice farms, with total losses reaching 162.73 million pesos across more than 5,000 hectares. The DA is conducting ongoing assessments and coordination efforts to deliver aid to affected areas. Assistance will include agricultural inputs, support under the Survival and Recovery Loan Program, and allocations from the Quick Response Fund.
DWDD National News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. appointed Department of Justice Jesus Crispin Remulla as the new ombudsman. According to the Presidential Communications Office, Remulla's appointment is in line with the administration's commitment to fight corruption wherever it exists. PZO said Remulla is expected to uphold transparency, strengthen anti-corruption measures, and ensure that justice is administered fairly and efficiently. They also reiterated that there will be no sacred cows, no exemptions, and no excuses, adding those who betrayed the public trust will be held accountable.
Armed Forces Radio.
Some information from Spencer about Army Chief Singapore Defense Attaché strengthen defense cooperation.
Yes, Rolf, the 69 Infantry Kaugar Battalion successfully conducted a multi-sectoral information awareness drive at Barangay Kapunitan, Orion, Bataan. The event focused on raising awareness about the deceptive recruitment tactics of the
Rolf, Philippine Army Chief Lieutenant General Antonio Navarrete welcomed Colonel Gehandre Mariapan, Singapore's defense attaché to the Philippines, during a courtesy call at the Army headquarters in Fort Bonifacio, Taguig City. Lieutenant General Navarrete expressed readiness to enhance defense relations through focused initiatives following the 2024 MOU on national defense cooperation between the two nations. Rolf, both sides discussed potential engagements ahead of the 11th Philippine-Singapore Army Working Group meeting later this month. The visit also paved the way for coordination of upcoming ASEAN military events, promotional regional partnership, and interoperability. This is Spencer, reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Spencer Ross.
DWDD National News.
Malacanang defended President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s decision to appoint Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla as the new ombudsman. Presidential Communications Office Acting Secretary Dave Gomez said, "There's always a process and a very stringent process required under our Constitution, and that Secretary Remulla went through that process." He added that he was vetted by the Judicial and Bar Council and appointed by the President. Gomez also expressed confidence that the Justice Secretary would be impartial.
DWDD National News.
On the other hand, the Philippines' gross international reserves climbed to an 11-month high in September according to the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. This is largely due to the increase in global gold prices and income from the central bank's investments. The GIR is a measure of the ability to settle import payments and service foreign debt. It stood at $108.805 billion in September, higher than the $107.097 billion.
Armed Forces Radio.
From our reporter on the ground, to see the report of Gina about 7 FAV troops support school preparation in Kabakan through community service.
Yes, Rof. Personnel from the 7th Field Artillery Battalion provided manpower assistance to USM Annex Elementary School in Kabakan, Cotabato. The initiative aimed to prepare and improve school facilities, ensuring a safe and conducive learning environment for students and teachers. This activity highlights 7 FAB's dedication to community service and partnership with local institutions. The unit continues to embody the spirit of Bayanihan, extending its service beyond military duties to support education and youth development. This is Gina reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Gina.
DWDD National News.
The Japanese government has emphasized its enduring partnership with the Philippines in advancing the judiciary sector. Japanese ambassador to the Philippines, Endo Kazuya, highlighted this during a visit to the Judicial Academy of the Philippines, or TJAP, in Tagaytay City. TJAP was constructed in 2010 with support from the government of Japan through its counter-value fund under the non-project grant aid. It serves as an important venue for judicial education and enables the Philippine Judicial Academy to strengthen its capacity to deliver continuing legal and judicial education to justices, judges, court personnel, lawyers, and judicial aspirants across the country.
DWDD National News.
Acting Transportation Secretary Giovanni Lopez has directed the issuance of special permits for nearly 300 buses from Sapang Palay and Fairview. This would allow them to once again pick up and drop off passengers along Nia Road in Quezon City. Lopez said this is necessary so passengers won't have to walk long distances, especially when transferring to the MRT3. He added that the long walk is a burden to commuters, particularly to senior citizens and persons with disabilities, adding that bus stops should be closer to the MRT to make transfers easier. Lopez said he personally experienced the inconvenience caused by previous changes in loading and unloading areas, prompting him to push for immediate adjustments to ease the burden on commuters.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more updates from Miami about Naval Air Wing marks 78th anniversary launches Naval Air Warfare Force. Go, Amy.
The Naval Air Wing celebrated its 78th founding anniversary at Sangley Point, Cavite, with the historic unveiling of the Naval Air Warfare Force. The transition from wing to force signified an enhanced role in maritime defense and a renewed commitment to securing the nation's seas. The ceremony highlighted Naval Air Wing Force's mission to extend the Navy's operational reach and strengthen its air capabilities. The event also honored generations of naval aviators and personnel whose service and dedication shaped the force's legacy. This is Ami reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Amy.
DWDD National News.
Meanwhile, Malacanang is unfazed over supposed talks of another change of leadership in the Senate. This came less than a month after Senate President Vicente Soto III assumed the helm of the lower chamber. In a press briefing, Palace Press Office Undersecretary Attorney Claire Castro quoted Soto as assuring that matters in the Senate are stable. She added that the senators have freedom of expression and there is democracy in the Senate, so it is not alarming.
DWDD National News.
House Speaker Faustino D. III called on state-run banks to make loans accessible to farmers. This is by imposing zero interest and reducing documentary requirements. D made the call following the appeal of Nueva Ecija farmer Danilo Bolos, who lamented that farmers have a tough time securing and paying loans from government banks due to documentary requirements and the monthly 3% interest rate. He added that the existing government cash aid were making the farmers feel like beggars. D said that reforms in financing, insurance, and infrastructure must go hand in hand with immediate assistance to farmers, especially amid fluctuating palay prices.
Armed Forces Radio.
And more updates from Shira. AFP installs new APSES commander.
Yes, good afternoon. The Armed Forces of the Philippines officially installed the new commander of the AFP Commissar and Exchange Service in a change of command ceremony at Camp Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City. AFP Deputy Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Romel Roldan presided over the event and appointed Colonel Ben Domingo III. The new commander is a member of PMA Masinag class of 1998 and previously served as Commander Inspector General of the Philippine Army Support Command. Meanwhile, Lieutenant General Roldan commended outgoing Acting Commander Lieutenant Colonel Vanessa Angela Samudio for her dedicated service. Moreover, the AFP expressed confidence that his leadership will further enhance AFSES operations and services for military personnel and their families. This is Shai Rivera reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Shira.
DWDD National News.
Senate President Pro Tempore Panfilo Lacson stood firm with his decision to resign as chairperson of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. This amid the appeal of some senators for him to reconsider. Lacson last Monday resigned as Blue Ribbon Committee chairperson, citing the dissatisfaction of fellow senators on the direction of the legislative inquiry on the alleged anomalous flood control projects for his resignation. He said that some senators publicly and secretly pursue the narrative that he is zeroing in on several of his colleagues while purposely protected those members of the lower house.
DWDD National News.
The Philippine and Japanese governments exchanged views on public safety and security measures across the country, particularly in Metro Manila. During a courtesy call on Philippine National Police Chief Police Lieutenant General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr., Ambassador Endo shared his views on public safety and expressed concern over robbery and hold-up cases affecting Japanese nationals. He also called for additional preventive measures. The meeting reaffirmed the Philippines and Japan's strong commitment to strengthen security coordination, highlight their shared goal of ensuring the safety and well-being of both Filipinos and foreign nationals.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let us hear more from Mike about 103rd Infantry Battalion strengthens peace and development efforts in Lubuagan, Kalinga.
The 103rd Infantry Mabalasik Battalion participated in the Kapihan meeting at the Lubuagan Municipal Hall, Kalinga. The gathering provided a platform for collaboration among local officials, agencies, and stakeholders to address community issues and development initiatives. Troops presented the Kalinga para sa Kalinga proposal promoting unity and resilience through joint peace and development projects. The 103rd IB reaffirmed its commitment in supporting local governance and fostering a lasting peace and progress across Kalinga. This is Mike reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Mike.
DWDD National News.
For our national news and for our weather update, the Pag-asa announced the weakening of the southwest monsoon or habagat, marking the end of the wet season. The Weather Bureau also said that there was a gradual change in the country's weather pattern because of the strengthening of the high-pressure system over East Asia and the southward migration of the intertropical convergence zone. Pag-asa Assistant Weather Services Chief Chris Perez said the country was now transitioning into the northeast monsoon or amihan season, which will be declared in the coming weeks. But he clarified that rains would still be expected due to the occurrence of other local weather systems.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And that concludes today's broadcast, and thank you for tuning in, especially to our audience on AFP Radio, the DWDD's Facebook page. Be sure to join and catch us again tomorrow for more stories and updates, same time and same station. Once again, this is Rolf Susan Abay for AFP Cometa News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Susan every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.